sometimes it just happens randomly, just like that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. My name is Shon Williams, aka Mr. President, and welcome to the Safe Room, a safe space for entrepreneurs and business owners to share their personal and professional stories here in Toronto. And today we have a wonderful guest. And I'm excited to have this guest on because this conversation can be a little bit different. Usually I will bring on someone and we talk about just the work that they do based on their business. But this one's going to be like a much centered conversation because we're going to be talking about an upcoming event for this organization. But without further ado, let me introduce you to Miss Karisha Duncan. Karisha is a passionate community advocate and founder of Blk Market here in Toronto. They're an organization dedicated to uplifting Black communities across the greater Toronto area. And she basically is someone that I reached out to, and you will be seeing at Black Friday trade show and networking event for Blk Market on Friday, September the 6th. But without further ado, again, Karisha, how are you doing?
Thank you so much. I am great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. This is amazing. I'm happy to be here.
Of course, of course. I'm so happy to have you on the Safe Room. I extended the invitation for you to come on. I said, you know what? More people need to know about Black Friday for Blk Market. We got to get the traction out. So I'm like, whatever I can do to help, that's what I want to do. So Karisha, I know I gave a little quick introduction about yourself, but maybe I feel like you could do justice. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about yourself and what do you do?
Sure, absolutely. So, yes, I'm a community advocate and founder of Blk Market, which is an e commerce platform that showcases small Black owned businesses and professionals in Toronto, GTA. I've always been somebody who tries to give back to the community. You know, since the age of 12, I've always been um, deep rooted in my community, giving back, even as far as like elementary school, you know? So I've always been trying to find a way to create impact for the community. And Blk Market is a manifestation of my dream to support those around me and my community.
I love that. Absolutely love that. You said but at the age of 12 you got started. I mean, you're a veteran in this case. You basically been around, you've seen all the stuff, and you could just tell it like it is, and you could just expand on that. But I love that. And I feel like for a lot of youth as well, being able to dive into their community at such a young age, I think we want to continue that trend no matter where we're at. And I know in Toronto, like you look at Toronto as one of the most multicultural cities in the world. That's definitely the vibe that I feel we should be seeing all the time. The youth want to get involved, want to be like deeply rooted into their community. So I feel like you saying that is amazing. Like when I was 12 years old, I was just thinking about WE. I was thinking about like when's like Raw and SmackDown gonna happen. You were out there like actually like wanting to make a difference, and you seen how it's led to Blk Market. So with that, I just want to say congratulations on just being someone who's a community advocate, being out there, spreading the message, and having something like Blk Market as your masterpiece, your crowning achievement.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course, of course. I know I'm giving you a lot of praise, and like, it's very due. But I want to get into the main questions, and again, what we're going to be talking about today, which is Blk Market's Black Friday trade show and networking event. We're going to go into detail about what does that event entail, some of the details. If you are going to be coming out, because I will be there, and I will convince everyone here that's listening from Canada, from Toronto, to come out as well, because that's my job today. You know, I'm gonna do my absolute best to get at least 10 of y'all. If I see 10 of y'all, you say, "Hey, Shon, I heard you on the pod, I heard you on the show, and like I came here because of the conversation you had with Karisha." I know I did my job. So we're gonna definitely get into that. But before we do that, we have to start with our opening segment, the hot seat. So Karisha, don't worry, it's not that scary. It's not that scary. I'm just gonna ask you 4 questions, and I just want you to answer them to your best abilities. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So, question number 1. So, outside the work that you do, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
I'm a big foodie. I love food. I love to cook food and I love to eat it too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Is there like any favorite foods you have?
You know what? I love my ackee and saltfish. So it's just a Jamaican dish. It's the national dish. I love ackee and saltfish, but I love anything with cheese. Pizza, lasagna, pastas, you name it. Back in high school, my best friend, because we have a lot of similarities, we used to have a little slogan. We used to say, if you're not choking, there's not enough cheese. So
Wow.
yeah, I know it sounds unhealthy, but we didn't care at the time. And yeah, I love cheese, so anything with cheese.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting. I love that. Honestly, that might be like that's one of the most hilarious things I've heard in a while, man. Like that
yeah.
is crazy. But I mean, listen, everyone they have their favorite foods. Honestly, I can't give my favorite food if I could on the spot because there's just so many. But I mean, I think that's a very interesting way to describe yourself. Just I'm a foodie, it's just like usually some people say like, oh, I'm a fun, loving person, or I do this, do that. It's like Karisha's statement, like I'm a foodie. I like
I
food,
just
and
love
like
food.
particularly cheese. If you give me some cheese, I'm gonna be pleased.
I can give you another one. I love nature. I
Okay, are you like?
love. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Do you like to like travel a lot?
I'm a parks type of girl. I love the beach. So even on days where I feel like I need to clear my head, I will go to the beach early in the morning and just listen to the water and listen to the birds chirping. It brings me peace, to be honest. So I've always been that girl. I love being around large bodies of water. So you put me next to a pool or a beach, like I'm good. I even the bath. I love to take long baths as well. So yeah.
All right, interesting. Yeah, like I feel like for some people, like they might like nature. Some are just like, that's not my forte, man. I don't get down with nature like that. But it's good to know that you have like a love for nature, especially with the weather outside. It's slowly that summer's about to end. So I feel like getting that last chance to just go outside, just taking everything before we have to embrace the cold weather. And if you live in Toronto, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
I'm not ready for it still. I know it's coming, but it's like I'm not ready and I don't want it to happen. But you have to appreciate the days that go by for the remainder of the summer because it's coming. The cold weather's coming.
It's true. And you know what? I'm hoping that this winter was like last winter. Last winter wasn't so bad. So I'm hoping that this winter is the same because I can't stand it. Like, don't be surprised if in a few years from now I don't even live here anymore. I might be gone to Florida or another Caribbean island or something because I can't stand it, Sean, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people say the exact same thing. They might just leave and just go somewhere else. And
Yeah.
I've been saying this too. Like when it comes to like winter, I truly think that they might have to like move like the holidays to like January now. Like they might have to move Christmas to January 25th because I feel like that's when you get all the snow. Not in December anymore. It's like
It's
it's
true.
it's January. It's like what are we doing? I'm like January is usually the point where like, all right, maybe I might be willing to go back outside a bit. It's like, nah, like that's where all the white snow starts to come down. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna deal with this. I don't want to talk about this too long because I feel like I'm gonna go into a whole 1 hour rant about this. So let's try to move on to the next question. So this one's a good one though. What was the best event you recently remember attending? Like, so what was the best event you can recently remember attending?
I went to an event called LYE, and it stands for Love Your Equity. It was a networking event, but they had some really good industry professionals come out. It was more real estate based and investing, and I feel like that is something that I am very much so interested in at this point in my life. So I felt that, by going there with an open mind and, being in the room and asking the right questions, I was going to get the information that I needed. And it was a really good night. That was a great event.
Okay, good to
Yeah.
hear. Was that like how recent was that? Like a couple months ago, a couple weeks
That
ago?
was August 17th. So just a couple weeks ago.
Okay, all right. That's good to hear. Are you someone who, let's say when you go out to an event, are you more of like the listener in terms of like maybe you're in a group of people and you guys are talking? Are you the one that's mostly listening, or are you the one that's usually like guiding the conversation itself?
That's a great question. I've always been a listener just in general. So even when I'm in those spaces, that's usually how it goes. I listen and then I speak. So, I find something that, some similarities or some way that we can connect on a, even if it's a more personal level, because it doesn't always have to be about business, right? When you go to these events. So yeah, I would say that I listen more, and when I have the opportunity to speak, I'll speak.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I kind of fit in the middle as well, but I'm more on the speaking side depending on the group of people I'm around. If it's people like I know very well, then I'll probably speak more. But if it's like a new crowd of people who I'm not familiar with, I might just like, you know what, I'm gonna listen because I think it's good to still listen and pick up information than trying to always talk and like be the facilitator. Obviously, maybe people want to hear your knowledge and what you have in terms of like valuable information. But sometimes it's also good to take in valuable information for yourself. So that way you can take it for yourself and you choose what you want to do with it.
Exactly. You learn more that
Hmm.
way as well. You learn more.
Definitely, definitely. Okay. Going on to the third question for the hot seat. An interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself.
Hmm. I can dance really well. I can dance really well. I used to, back in the day, and I'm young, so I'm saying back in the day like it was ages ago, but I used to crump.
Really?
Imagine Karisha Duncan crumping.
Interesting. Wow. No, I need more details now. Now you're saying, oh, I used to crumb. Like, here's my first question: How nice were you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay, I'll maybe about a 7.
Okay. All right. Be modest.
Like a 7. But I
All
love
right.
to dance. I'm really good. I pick up really quickly on choreography. Like not many people know that, because when I excuse me, when I do go outside, when I do go out there, not many people know that about me. It's not like I'm more of a laid back, reserved type of person. So for somebody to maybe imagine me dancing and picking up choreography and things like that, it might not seem, like something that I would do, but I do it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I guess like how many styles of dance are you able to kind of pick up on?
Contemporary and hip hop.
Okay, yeah. I feel like hip hop's like a very common one, especially like being it's Toronto. I feel like everyone is like into like that hip hop choreography and everything like that. So I think it's super super riveting to see. And you mentioned that usually when you go out, you're more of like the quiet type, just more reserved. So does that apply again to you, someone who like dances? Are you someone that's like maybe there's a dance battle. Like you're not getting in that. You're not. It's like I'm gonna leave myself out. I'm not about to step in. Or are you that type of person?
No, I mean, if it's a song that, I really enjoy and I have some moves for it, I'll definitely bust out some moves. But you won't see me in the middle of the dance floor. I usually like to chill, lay back, and yeah.
I feel like that's a common theme for a lot of dancers that I know. I'm not foreshadowing, guys. I'm not. I promise. Anyway, let's get on to the final question here. What is your personal safe room? So, what's a safe space that allows you to be your authentic self? It could be physical, it could be mental. What is your personal safe room?
I would have to say My journal. I do a lot of journaling. So for as I got my first journal at 10 years old. So I've been journaling since 10. So I write everything in there. Like the way that we're even speaking now, that's the way that I write in my journal. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. My trials, tribulations, good things that have happened, bad things, like everything. So I kind of that's the place where I feel I can be my most vulnerable self and just put everything out on paper, close the book and keep it moving. So yeah, I'd have to say my journal.
All right. So just want to recap. So you got your first journal at 10. You started working in the community at 12. You're a workhorse, aren't you? I said you're someone that's just like I love the grind. I love the grind. But in all seriousness, I think that's really great. And especially again for you having a journal at the age of 10, like is just imagining just how much thoughts would be going inside your head and putting it down, on paper and just still having that today. I think it's something that's really nice for you to reflect on, to, talk about some of the goods and the bads, like the ups and the downs. And, even you sharing that little tidbit about the way you write your journals, how you're speaking to me right now. I feel like not really, but I feel like I'm kind of now part of that journal story or like scenario in a way. I don't want to like fully inject myself into it, but I feel like that's really nice. I think that's a lovely sentiment actually.
I still have my first journal actually. From,
Oh,
from I
really?
still have it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Oh, of course, you gotta cherish that. That's something you shouldn't really throw away at all. So that's nice to hear.
Right. Yeah. Still have it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I
Okay.
do I
Go
do
ahead.
hope that I did always say that one day I will turn my journal into a book because I feel like the things that are in there will become part of my testimony, or is part of my testimony. So yeah, so look out for that in maybe a few years when I complete that project. But yeah,
Okay, I think that's a good idea actually to do. So yes, I see you coming up with the ideas and everything like that. Always again thinking again like I consider you a workhorse. I seem like you're someone who loves to just work on things and keep building and keep growing. I mean, that's the type of mentality we should always be having 24/7.
right.
Okay, so that's all the questions I have here for the hot seat. So thank you, Karisha, for participating in that. You did great. I loved your answers. All of them were super original.
Thank you.
Okay, so now that we talked a little bit about the hot seat, let's get to the main questions. And again, if you are tuning in right now, if you're just hopping in, you are listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. I'm here with my guest, Karisha Duncan, the founder, co-founder, I believe, of All Black Market. I know we were hoping to get someone else on with you, but I know like schedules were a little bit tricky, so we do have Karisha, and we are going to be talking about the All Black Markets Black Friday trade show and networking event on Friday, September 6th. We're going to be going into detail of what this event will entail. So I do want to start off with the first question. And this one's kind of more on the overview premises for All Black Markets. So Karisha, I want to ask you, what does All Black Market offer to Black-owned businesses and professionals in Toronto? Now, I know you did kind of give a quick introduction at the beginning of the conversation, but maybe you can go a little bit deeper in terms of like maybe certain programs or stuff that other things, maybe other events that you guys do that you try to help out Black-owned businesses and professionals in Toronto.
Sure, absolutely. So I did say that we are an e-commerce platform. So we partner with, or partnered with over 150 businesses, small businesses, and we've sold their products on our website. So that's the e-commerce side. Then we also have our professionals. We provide resources for young Black professionals as well. And then on our website, we do have like a highlight or feature of them in addition to that. So uh, Black Friday, the trade show and networking event, is something that we do to provide resources to the community, but also other things that we've accomplished over the years. Every year we do like a holiday give back. So that's not necessarily for specifically directed to entrepreneurs or Black professionals, but it's more so something that we can do to give back to the community. So last year we partnered with Centennial College. We donated over 350 meals to our Scarborough neighbors. And the rest we donated to a youth shelter in Scarborough as well. And another thing that we've started back in 2021 was our business development program, which is called Entrepreneurship with ABM. So we help or assist aspiring entrepreneurs between the ages of 18 to 29 to start their business from the ground up. So we provide them with the resources and the tools that they need, make sure that we are connecting them to the right professionals who can help them expand their business and also, turn their business ideas into realities.
Wow. Wow, I'm honestly speechless right now. That's absolutely amazing. And a follow-up question I actually want to ask. So, in terms of just all the things that you guys offer, just how is the team dynamic? Because I can only imagine, with all these different programs and resources that you're providing for Black-owned businesses and professionals, that there has to be some type of structure and process that allows everything to run smoothly. So, how does the team run, and how do you guys, or how are you able to come together and make sure that everything is working efficiently, that things are getting done to its deadline, or even just running some of the programs, handling with some of the research? Like, how does the team dynamic work in this case, I guess, from your perspective?
Yeah, that's a great question. And in all transparency, we are a very small team. I think that what we've been able to, and we actually should give ourselves a little, like a pat on our backs for the amount of work that we're able to do, because we're a team of less than 5 people. And we
Wow.
do, yeah, and we do a lot. So, and especially being like a small business owner, we do have other jobs, full time jobs, things like that. So, I don't really sleep. I don't really sleep because the work has to get done, and I also feel like I'm doing God's work. Every day I wake up, I feel like I'm doing what I was put on this earth to do. So that's what kind of keeps us going. But we do have ways that we organize ourselves to make sure that we get the tasks done, and deadlines as well. And of course, work life balance is important. You don't want to face burnout, but we're a small team of 5. So it's not like we have, 20 people under our leadership team who can assist, but we do have other, organizations and stuff who are also willing, they see the vision, so they're willing to help us as well. So we kind of have that support to lean on them when it's needed, where it's needed.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned that you have like that support system. I was just at an event just this past Sunday, and the theme was surrounding collaboration over competition. And I feel like seeing how you guys have been able to do so much with such a small team, like the fact that you said you guys have less than 5 like team members, that shocked me. I thought like, okay, maybe like at least like 10 to 15, because I'm thinking all that work is like there has to be like extra hands. But to hear that is A, super impressive, but B, it goes back to what you said. Like, just because like maybe the team is super small doesn't mean that there's not opportunity to work with other businesses. And again, if they believe in the vision that you have, then they will provide that additional support to see that vision come to reality. So I think that's really great, because again, for a lot of us, we always focus on just we have to do this and we have to stay in our own lane, and then anyone who's like a competitor, like an op, then like we don't trust them. But it's like, that's not, I don't see entrepreneurship in that way. I don't see how business works that way, because at the end of the day, you're going to be wanting to run these huge events or do these big programs, and then you're going to run into possibly getting a sponsor or a partner or maybe an investor. Eventually you're going to have to talk to someone. So I feel
Exactly.
like with business, there's no such thing as in staying in your lane. You're gonna have to engage with someone. I mean, even customer service. Are you gonna say like, you know what? No one talk to me. I don't want no clients. Like, no, you're gonna have to engage with someone. This is just me kind of speaking on my own perspective. But again, hearing how much the all black market has done, and I remember hearing about you guys last year. It was from the trade show. I didn't get the chance to go, and that haunted my conscience for the longest time. It was like a 1 year vendetta. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get there the next year, but I'm gonna be there next year, because like that's the type of experience I want to be, being in a room of people where I can network, connect, and hopefully collaborate with these people in the future. So I love the foundation that All Black Market has built so far.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to take a moment to give you your flowers because I know you said that you heard about us last year, but you actually heard about us before. And that's why being on this podcast right now it's like a full circle moment for me. And I hope you too, once I tell you this, but that business development program that I mentioned, entrepreneurship with ABM, when you were just starting your podcast, you actually applied to the program. And, that's why I say I want to give you your flowers because this was like a few years ago and that was just an idea, and now to see that you're here doing this on a consistent basis, to see how far and how much you've grown since then. I just wanted to give you a round of applause for that.
Wow, I appreciate that. I'm gonna be completely honest. I totally forgot I even signed up. I mean, when you dropped that, I had like my brain was moving at 1,000 miles per hour. I'm like, wait. I'm like, I'm just flashing back to 2020. Wait, what was I doing? What was I doing? That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. That's why when you reached out to me, I was like, of course I'm going to be on of course. I will be here for you, Shon. Absolutely.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Honestly, Karisha, I think you probably did something for the first time ever. I think you broke me. I don't know what to say afterwards. I think like we might as well just cut the
Oh,
conversation and just like, all right, we're good, guys. Make sure you follow and like, no, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. I really appreciate that.
no problem.
Okay, so going a little bit more into detail about what this event could be. So there's a lot. I know there's a lot happening. There's going to be a panel. There's going to be workshops. Workshops from LinkedIn, by the way. When I saw it, I'm like, hold on, LinkedIn's getting involved. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
it is a must go on my end. But maybe you want to talk a little bit more to detail of like what the itinerary is going to look like, just for people who are listening, maybe that are in Toronto or maybe in Saga, Scarborough, wherever it is in the GTA, they can have an understanding from top to bottom what that day is going to look like.
Yeah, for sure. So the event is a full day. It's 12 to 8. We have at 1 o'clock, we have our workshop that will be presented by LinkedIn. It's called Rock Your Profile. So they will be, discussing how you can enhance or elevate your personal or online professional brand, and how you can be more attractive, attract more recruiters, employers, things like that. And then at 3 o'clock, we have a pitch competition, and that is in partnership with a social enterprise called Nobellum. So the contestants, there will be about 10 small business owners who will be pitching their business, and they will share a prize pool of $10,000, the winners, the selected ones. And then at 6 o'clock, we have our panel discussion. So we have a keynote speaker, Edwina McKinnon. She is the founder and CEO of a company called Futurique. So she will be talking about how you can leverage AI in this new world of technology, and also we will have the panel discussion that will be featuring Fatiha Senhaji, which is the vice president of inclusive entrepreneurship at BDC, which is the bank for entrepreneurs, Canadian entrepreneurs. We have Ryan O'Neill Knight, who is the founder of Afro Caribbean Business Network. He will be on the panel as well. And then we have Isaac Olowolafe, who is the founder of Dream Legacy Foundation. So the theme of the event is strategic partnerships. And they will be discussing on the panel the ending cycle of the Black Entrepreneurship Program. How we can, small businesses can reinvent themselves with the end of the program, which will be March 2025. That's when the program's ending. So they'll be discussing, some valuable insights and things like that. So, and then in between that, I can't forget the vendors, of course. We will have our trade show, because it's trade show and networking, but we'll have our trade show set up as well as an exhibition hall, so you can sip, shop, and network. So I would just recommend or encourage anyone who is interested to come out to the event to make sure you come and arrive on time, because you can actually enjoy and benefit from all the activities that will be taking place at the event.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. I hope everyone at home or wherever you're at, I hope you're taking notes. I hope you wrote down every single thing Karisha said because like that's a lot of valuable things that you can pull away from that. I love that. And speaking of the vendors, I did want to ask a question because how is the process of setting up the vendors, because obviously there might be businesses who want to be part of something like Black Friday and they want to have their products or their services and get the chance to hopefully get some new sales, new clients, or connect with different people. Like, how is the process? Because I will say this, I am working with a couple people and like we're trying to do our own vendors market, but like I've never been a vendor like in a situation where like, oh, it's like I'm an actual vendor at a vendor's market. Like I've been at events and like I've done like interviews, but like I wouldn't consider myself a vendor. I don't know what I would consider myself as. I mean, I'm still kind of working on the definition, but I do feel like it's something that me and a collective of people want to do. And I would like to know just how is the process of like setting up these vendors for events like this.
Yeah, so for those who are interested in being a vendor, you can go on our website or click the link in our bio on our Instagram. There's a vendor application form. So once they fill out the application, then someone on our team will get back to them with some more information. It's a pretty simple process. You just have to follow the prompts and follow the instructions. I think, the difficult part or the more challenging part is figuring out the floor plan as the organizers. On our end, it's the floor plan. Where's everybody going to go? Making sure everybody fits. Like when you're planning a networking event or a trade show, you have to be organized and thoughtful and considerate. You can't just place anybody anywhere or anything like that. So I think that is probably the most difficult or challenging part. But for the vendor, we make sure that it's very simple and smooth. Once you sign up, you get instructions. And then when you arrive, there's always people on site who will take you to your table and give you any information that you need. And also, at the event, we will have like complimentary, wine and appetizers as well. So we make sure that our vendors are taken care of because they're important to us.
Absolutely. And like I think that's super important as well. The floor plans are such a essential because again, like you don't know exactly how you're going to set everything up until maybe you have a good amount of vendors or even just for everything else because like you mentioned there's going to be the pitch competition, there's going to be the panel and everything like that. Obviously, like just how everything is going to run and how it's going to look, it's super important to figure out where everyone's going to be placed. So I definitely understand how that could be a fun but also stressful part of the event setup and everything like that. I do want to ask this question, and feel free to tell me if you can't answer it fully, but I would like to know, and maybe everyone else would like to know, who are the vendors going to be for Friday, September the 6th? I know you guys are marketing right now on like social media, so I know you guys may have a strategy where like we're gonna release maybe one vendor at a time. So that's why I'm saying like feel free if you're like, I can't give you everything, Shon. I'll tell you who we've already shared, but are you still there, Karisha? I think we might have lost her. I'm not hearing anything on my end.
Sorry
So,
there. I think you cut out.
oh, I was cutting
Can you
out.
hear me?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, my bad, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't see you on my end, so I thought something was going on. So, what was the last part you remember? Like,
That's okay. I think you might have to repeat the whole question.
okay, yeah, no problem. I was asking like if there was a possibility that you're able to share some of the vendors for the trade show and networking event. And again, I don't know if you're able to share all of them with me because I know like I don't know if you guys are still promoting them on your social medias, but it would be nice to know for everyone listening who are going to be some of the vendors for September 6th.
Oh yes. Okay. I can't list all of them because there's a lot. We were
That was literally what I was saying. Like when I got cut off, I'm like, I was literally saying, I'm like, I know you probably can't tell me everyone's, but like as much as you
But
can.
I can give you like some of the different categories. So we're gonna have jewelry, we're gonna have food, we're gonna have some health and wellness. So we do have some return vendors. Cubed Style is one of them. They specialize in body butters and care and things like that. We have Maneuver Men, which is a men's grooming. We have Tropical Temptations, which is Caribbean cuisine. We also have another vendor called Street Tender, and he's our bartender. So he's going to be there mixing up some nice cocktails, things like that. So yeah, we have over 40 vendors that will be in the space, and for me to go down that list is going to be kind of difficult. But yeah, we have a lot. The good thing is that we have variety. We don't have a bunch of the same thing, and I think that that's very important. That you can come and shop from a variety of different small businesses.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's super important because, when you have that such variety, you get to not only experience, different sides of like entrepreneurship in a way, but, I know sometimes I'll go to certain events and I'll see like people I may recognize based on like maybe the industry that I'm in or just people I've connected with. And because of that, it's allowed for, ooh, I don't know if she's gone. I think she might be gone. I think we're gonna try to get her back.
I'm still here.
You're still here?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I think it's on my end. I'm seeing that there's a black screen, but as long as you're here and I can hear you, I think we'll be okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right, yeah. But yeah, I was basically saying that I think it's really great that you have such varieties with the vendors. It allows for different experiences for someone who's attending. So I think that's really nice to see. I did want to go on to the next question, but again, for people who are tuning in or coming in right now, this is the Safe Room Podcast here on Love Bay Radio. I'm here with my guest, Karisha Duncan. Hopefully, you guys can see her. I mean, on my end, she's black, but he has a black streak. But I'm hoping you guys can see her. I mean, let me know in the comments, and then if I have to hop off and come back on, then I can do that real quick. But just want to make sure. But Karisha, the next question I do want to ask is, and I'm gonna skip ahead because you kind of did answer a couple of the ones I prepared. So I love it when guests are able to just knock out multiple questions in one swing. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go on to the next one. And you kind of did talk about it a bit, but I want you maybe to go into more detail. What's the importance of or for the all black market to establish an event like this for the black community here in Toronto?
You know, so the event is based in Scarborough, and I was raised in Scarborough. So was the co-founder, Gide Jimmy, and so felt like there's nothing, unless you can let me know or somebody else can enlighten me a little bit, but we haven't we haven't seen anything like what we've been able to put together in Scarborough. And so we felt like this is absolutely necessary. And there's a lot of events that it doesn't necessarily feel like home. And that's something that we like to ensure, that when you walk into the space, it feels like home. People from all walks of life can come through. You don't have to be an entrepreneur, you don't have to be a young professional, but there's a space for everyone. Inclusivity is something that's very important. But yeah, so bringing the community together and being that incubator, bridging the gap between small Black owned businesses and professionals, that's what's really important for us. And like I mentioned, we don't have anything like that in Scarborough, at least.
Okay, perfect, perfect. I'm just seeing a message here from our producer. He's asking if you're able to hop back off and hop back on the link because we're trying to see if we're able to get you back on camera.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could just use the same link to come back on. I think she already hopped off. Um, I do apologize, guys, for the technical difficulties, but you know what? That's how it is. Sometimes you're gonna have a smooth running conversation. Sometimes you're gonna run into some troubles, but the conversation must go on, the show must go on. But in the meantime, guys, if you are tuning in, I'm going to say right now before Karisha comes back on, if you guys want to check out all our previous episodes, you can find the Safe Room on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. We're also looking to get back onto YouTube. So, again, you can type in on YouTube the Safe Room Podcast, subscribe to our channel. We'll be posting some of our archive episodes. So, you guys can definitely do that. And yeah, definitely tap in. There's a lot of stuff that I'm ready to accept, ready to share on my end, on my personal page as well, Sean Williams. So we really appreciate if you guys were to tap in with the Safe Room on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and also on Instagram. You can follow us at the Safe Room Official. But since we have some time and we're just waiting for Karisha to come back on, I want you guys, if you can, message in the comment section. What have you enjoyed so far about this conversation? Because it's been great so far. Oh, we're back. We're back. Okay. I was just talking to the people for a couple of minutes before you were coming back on.
Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
No, it's all good. Listen, I was just telling them stuff like this happen all the time. You'd be surprised. This is honestly like the on the lower end of craziness we've had since I've
Okay.
been on here. So don't even worry about it.
Thank you.
Okay. No problem, no problem. But yeah, like I think you were you were talking about, just how there was nothing really in Scarborough at the time being when it came to just building all black market. And it's funny you mentioned that because I told you I was at a recent event this past Sunday, and it was actually with a nonprofit organization called Rise Edutainment, and
Mm,
they're in Scarborough. So I feel like that needs to happen soon. Like there needs to be collaboration. I don't know if they're one of the partners or sponsors for Black Friday. I could be
they
mistaken.
are. They're one of the
Okay.
community partners. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So who did you reach out to? Did you reach out to like someone on the team that I know? Have you heard of like L, Anastasia,
Actually, Randall, we have a really good
Randall?
one. Yeah, we have a good
Okay.
relationship with him. Yeah.
Perfect,
Part of the
perfect.
ABM family.
Great to hear. Great to hear. Yeah, Rise is absolutely awesome. Shout out to Rise. If anyone's tuning in from Rise Entertainment, shout out to you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing. But I do feel like what All Black Market is also doing is fantastic. And the fact that you guys have been able to build something like this, and it's helped so much businesses, helps so much people, whether it's just get that extra visibility with their brands, with their businesses, or just have the chance to network and connect with so much people. I think that's super important for anybody. And honestly, I think, you know, even for myself, when reaching out to you guys, I really appreciate that you allowed me to come to the event and, just kind of do my thing, because that's something I'm trying to build in terms of my own professional portfolio, being able to cover more events, kind of give it that recognition or extra recognition in a way. So I really do appreciate what you guys are offering for the Black community here in Toronto.
Of course, not a problem. Collaboration for us is the most important thing, and building relationships and fostering meaningful connections. So, absolutely, Sean.
Thank you. Of course, of course. I do want to get back into the conversation a little bit deeper. And I want to ask, what has been the most stressful part of setting up this event? Because as much as, again, it's fantastic, there's obviously things about where it's like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, and it gets very tiresome. So, what is or what has been the most stressful part for setting up for this Black Friday trade show and networking event?
Great question, because I feel like almost every part is.
Just all the above.
Honestly, because like I told you, we're a team of less than five. So we have to do the marketing, right? We have to post, we have to follow up with our sponsors, we have to follow up with the vendors, we have to invite, we have to do a lot of things, right? And then prep and organize as well. But to answer your question, And this is why it's important to have a team, because you can delegate certain tasks to one another. But I would have to say uh, the leveraging or getting sponsorships, and I think that that's like the hardest, one of the most difficult things for any business or organization that's looking to expand, getting the right partnerships, sponsorships, and even getting the funding or the backing to be able to do something like this. But you know what, I do have to give thanks to our presenting sponsor, which is Centennial College, because in our previous years we've done our events, they have a really big venue. So we would occupy like a certain portion of the venue to host our previous events. But now that we're partnering with them, because they see the importance of, or the value of in what we're doing, we actually have the whole space. So that's why we're able to accommodate workshops and pitch competition and exhibition hall and trade show and all of those different things. So, but yeah, I would have to say the sponsors, getting
Wow.
that financial backing. Yeah.
That's amazing. To be able to book the entire space. That's when you know it's like, oh, they're legit. Give them the whole space. Just give it to them and let them do what they need to do. So I think that's super great. But yeah, like I think for any entrepreneur or any business owner, trying to get sponsors for an event is very difficult because it's more than just saying like we have another organization to our event that we can just put as a name. It's about actually getting them to believe in the vision that you have, like what you're trying to create. And I know it can be super difficult for someone who's trying to start an event or maybe a conference or anything for the first time. So it's like, what do you give to them? Then it's like, okay, I have to see just like what I've done so far. Maybe I have like a separate portfolio that I could give to them, but it's like it's a little bit difficult for maybe someone who's like, we've ran this event like 5 years in a row. So we might
Yeah.
have a catalog or like maybe a highlight reel that we can just show them. So I guess a follow-up question I want to ask is what would be some advice for entrepreneurs and business owners who are looking for sponsors for in a first-time event that they're doing, but maybe they understand that they don't have enough leverage right now to possibly close out a deal. And I'm not saying that in the negative way. I do think that if you really are someone who believes in that vision, you can put something together. But maybe from that case, it's just like, you know what? I actually want to give them something that's like, okay, this proves that based on this expertise and what I've done, that we can run this and we can, work together. Like, what would be the best advice?
Well, first of all, just to go back on what you had mentioned a little earlier, when we started with the Black Friday trade show and networking events, it was our first event. So we didn't, when we were reaching out to different organizations and corporations for sponsorship opportunities, we noticed that, a lot of them are, or a lot of people, to be honest, are see it to believe it. I need to see what you've done in order to give you what you're asking or looking for. So it really is the one or the ones who really believe and can see the vision who are going to support you in the beginning. And once they see what you've been able to do, that's when you'll get the support, which is unfortunate. In our first year, we actually took money out of our own pockets. It was a very successful event, but we took money out of our own pockets to make sure that it was successful. So I would say making sure you have a good plan in place, a good business plan. Really sit down and figure out like what is it that you want, what is your ask, things like that. And for us, it was I don't want to say it was easier, but it made it less challenging for us to get these sponsorships when we started reaching out to corporations that are actually more in line with what we're doing. You can't just reach out to anybody. You have to look for organizations that have the same vision as you, that are looking to accomplish similar things. And I think that that's what you can use to your advantage. But yeah, having a good plan in place is something that I would say. And having a good pitch deck is really important. We've got into a lot of meetings where we've had to, pitch our idea and let people know what it is that we have in mind and kind of explain the vision. Because I mean, you can type everything, you can send an email, but I think it's easier when you can actually get on the phone or even get on a Zoom call and say, I need to speak with somebody right now. how can I get this this help? You know, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. This is why it's important, and this is why you should be joining us on this.
Yeah, definitely for sure. I think that's super important as well. Having a pitch deck allows you to really tell the whole story of what you're trying to do, explain like what's your why, what's your ask. So I think that's super important for anyone out there listening. And I've tried it to, I guess, come up with my own events, and I had to learn the hard way that yeah, there are people that are gonna have to say like, hey, you're gonna have to show me to before I believe you. Like I have to believe it before I see it, or whatever the case may be. It becomes a matter of like you may have to pull out your own pocket and like kind of start something. I think that's why I feel I try to tell myself, okay, if I'm gonna run an event, I want to make sure that I may have some like media going on. So that way, if I take photos and I take videos and I'm able to put it together for like a highlight reel or like a portfolio of photos I could put together, then the next time when I do this again, I have like actual evidence and I can actually showcase like this is what we've done, and like, it's a good way to have in your back pocket for anyone who's looking to start an event. So like even me asking that question, I was kind of like hoping to like scoop some information from you. I'm like, all right, this is good for me. I'll write this down and everything like that. But I feel like this is for everyone as well because it applies to everyone, for anyone who's an entrepreneur or business owner.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's very important what you mentioned, making sure you capture the event or the activity, because the numbers are good, but sometimes people want to see what you've been able to put together through images, videos, recaps, things like that. So absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I do have one final question, and then we're gonna go into a little fun activity at the end. Okay, so I guess my final question here is, let's say like you don't know me, okay, like you don't know who Sean Williams is. It's the first time you're seeing me, and I asked about why should I come out to this event? Like, sure, like I've heard some great things about it, but I could probably go to the next event that I see on my social feed, or I can go to just another event, or I could stay home. I could go home and just do nothing. Like, why is it that I need to come out to All Black Market's Black Friday trade show and networking events?
I would say if you care about your future, if you care about elevating yourself, that within itself is enough for you to want to be at this event. If you're trying to level up, you have to come out to the event. There are people who believe in you and you don't even know, but you will meet somebody who believes in you and what it is that you are, where it is that you're trying to go. And if you don't get in the room, then you will miss out on your opportunity to do that.
All right, all right. I think you honestly convinced me when you said like, if you don't believe in your future, like, listen, if you want a future, it's like, hold on, wait, you didn't have to say all that. I mean, all right, you sold me, okay, I'm coming.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, I think that's super important again because even for myself, like I want to level up. I feel like right now I'm in the stage where I want to start like working with people. I want to get clients. I want to start actually collaborating, putting my services, my expertise to use. I want to start doing that. So, I mean, although like September 6th, I might be doing interviews, I'm definitely going to be networking with people. Hopefully, I'll get a couple new clients out of it because like that's the type of timing I'm on. I'm just ready to get after it.
Right. There's somebody there. There will be somebody there that will need your services, but if you don't come out, you'll never know. So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And like I told everyone here, like it's been a year in the making. I couldn't go last year. I saw all the posts last year. It was just like on that day I was busy and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna like lose it. But when I got the notifications for Instagram that you guys were coming back, I did not hesitate. I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to them and I'm gonna do it better. I'm not just gonna show up. I'm actually gonna be work. I'm like, let me do interviews. I'm like, I want to do it. This is my drive. This is what I do, and we're gonna make it work. So I'm glad that it's all come full circle, and I'm super, super pumped for next week.
Excited to have you, Sean, honestly.
Of course, of course. All right. So those are all the main questions, but now let's get into the fun activity to wrap everything up. So Karisha, I know before we hopped on, we were talking about music. So it's actually ironic that we were talking about music because this activity has to do with music.
Oh, okay.
So I done this before with somebody, and let's just say that they hated me for this, but I think we're still
Oh,
cool. I don't think we're still friends. We're all good. It was all part of the fun and games and everything like that. But the whole point of this is that I want you to guess the album based
oh gosh.
on the songs, like the songs within the album.
Oh, don't do this to me, Sean. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll try my best. Okay.
I try to like pick a good mix of like albums people would know, but at the same time, like I won't try to make it like super easy because then it's like, all right, it's no fun. But I will say this: the whole theme of it is R&B. It's like R&B in that realm, and you have 5 albums. You have 5 albums you have to guess. All right, so we're gonna go one by one. So what's gonna work? I'm going to list 3 songs from one album, right? And you're gonna have 3 guesses for each album. By the way, you're gonna have 3 guesses to figure out what album I'm referring to. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna start like on easy level and then just kind of gradually work up. And what I mean by that, we're gonna start in the first album is from the 80s. The first album's from the second album's from the 90s. The third album's from the 2000s. The fourth album's from the 2010s, and then the fifth album is from the 2020s.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're getting a lot of criteria right now, which is like I'm laying down the groundwork. I don't want it to be where it's too confusing. All right, you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first album you have to figure out. So I'm listing 3 songs. I'm gonna do one by one, and then you can take a guess. So the first song I have here is "Baby Be Mine." The first song, "Baby Be Mine." The second song, "The Lady in My Life." Okay. And the
Yeah.
third one, this one should be a dead giveaway. Human Nature.
Okay. So I'm guessing this is definitely Michael Jackson.
Okay, which album though?
Ah,
You have the artist, right? So
Thriller?
is that your guess?
No. Yeah.
Thriller?
Yeah.
It's Thriller. It's Thriller.
Okay. Don't scare me.
You sound so worried. You're like, Sean, is it Thriller? Like, come on, don't screw me now.
Oh my gosh, I have to think. That's a really good.
Okay,
Well, it's the
okay.
album.
Good job. 1 for 1. See? That was
Okay.
easy.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going on to the next album, right? So this is the 90s now, okay?
Okay.
So here we go. So the first song we have here is Every Ghetto, Every City. Then we have Superstar. And then we have Lost Ones. So Every Ghetto, Every City, Superstar, and then Lost Ones.
Man, you really got me with the names of the album. I know the artist. We should have done it like that. Like, who's the artist?
Well,
um,
I mean, that would have been too easy. So
I know that it's 90s. It's Lauren Hill, but the album, goddamn, Sean.
I mean, to be fair, it's only one album she has. So
Um, is it called Miss something education? Miss Education? Miss
I'll,
Education.
I'll give it to you. It's the Miseducation of Lauren Hill.
Okay. Okay.
I'll give that to you. I'm being generous, okay?
Okay, even a half. I'll take even a half point.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, but you're doing good. You're doing good. Now this is where I'm gonna try to crank it up a notch a little bit. Okay, so this third album is from the 2000s. So we have Send It On. First song, Send It On. Next, we have Feel Like Making Love. Okay, so we have Send It On, Feel Like Making Love, and then the third one, Untitled.
This is definitely it's D'Angelo.
Okay, so which album?
I don't know the name of the album.
You have to get something.
Something with V, I think.
It's just like something with a V. I'm not sure, but
V. Voodoo. Is it Voodoo?
it's Voodoo. Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
three
let's
for
go back.
three.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't know.
honestly, like you're killing it. Okay, okay. So now we're getting into 2010s. 2010s, okay?
Okay, hopefully this is a bit easier.
So we have Sweet Life. Okay, Sweet Life. We have Bad Religion.
Oh,
Okay, Sweet Life, Bad Religion, and then Pyramids.
okay, I don't know the name of the album. I know for sure I don't know the name of this album, but that is Frank Ocean.
Okay, so it's Frank. But again, just like Lauren Hill, Frank has a pretty limited catalog. So
I'm good with maybe song titles, but not like, album names. But I know that it's Orange. I know the album is Orange. I can't even guess this one, Sean. I'm
so
sorry.
really not gonna give it
Yeah,
like a try. Maybe like just like take a guess, maybe. I mean, again, like you're in the right ballpark.
Orange.
Or it was Channel Orange.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, Channel Orange.
So close, but so far.
Yeah, yeah. But listen, like you done a fantastic job in terms of getting the artists.
Yes.
So like I give you credit to that. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the final one. So this is from the 2020s, and honestly, you could go perfect when it comes to the artists. You can go 5 for 5. Okay, so I believe in you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we have for the first song, we have Too Late. Then we have Used. So the first song, Too Late.
Too late.
Second song, Used. And then the third song, Far.
Is this my Scarborough guy? The weekend?
It's not The Weekend, unfortunately. It's
Ah.
not The Weekend. So that's your first guess.
Oh, can you give me the songs again? Too late.
Too Late,
You.
Used, and Far.
Wait a second. SZA?
Which album? I feel like you should know the album because that's
I
2020.
should. I know, and it's SZA, so you think like, oh, all the girls listening to SZA, but um
You're so close. I mean, like I feel like you're right there. I feel like I feel like you know the answer. You should just say it. I feel like if you just say it, you're like, all right, let me just trust my gut.
I know she was on something help me. SOS?
SOS, yes, it's SOS. There you go. Karisha, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I've done multiple activities you were the best. Like you ran through that. Like outside of like not knowing like Frank Ocean, like Channel Orange, like you literally knew everything. Like, I was picking the deep cuts, and you're like, wait, nah, I know this one. So you are definitely a music lover. I can tell you are a music lover to the bone.
Thank you. Thank you. Should play
Yes.
some round of applause in the back.
Yes, absolutely. That was fantastic. All right. Well, that's all I have for today. So, Karisha, I just want to say thank you again for coming on the Safe Room and coming on Love Bay Radio to share about All Black Market for the Black Friday trade show and networking event coming up this Friday, September 6th. I'm super excited to be going there, just connecting with people and just having a good time. But again, it was fantastic having you on the Safe Room tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me a platform to, speak about myself and also about ABM and the event that's coming up. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that anybody who is listening and is in the area, they will come through, click the link in our bio, All Black Market, and, purchase their tickets. And I'm looking forward to connecting with everybody who does come out to the event.
Absolutely. For anyone who's in Toronto, Saga, Scarborough, Brampton, anyone in the GTA or anywhere around there, definitely tap in with All Black Market. Karisha, where can people find you guys on social media?
Yes, so we are on Instagram at All Black Market. So it's spelled ALLBLK Market. And then we also have a website, allblackmarket.com. So you can catch us there. And we're also on Facebook as well.
Perfect, perfect. Make sure you guys tap in. And again, I better be seeing like 10 of y'all that were from this conversation at next week Friday. And you need to walk up like, hey, Shon, I'm here because of that conversation you had with Karisha. Then it'll leave a smile on my face. I need
Right.
to make sure that's a definite. But again, thank you to everyone listening here to the Safe Room on Love Bay Radio. Like I mentioned before, you can find us on Instagram at the Safe Room Official. If you want to check out our previous episodes, you can go on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and just type in the Safe Room. But until then, tune in next week to your favorite podcast here on Love Bay Radio. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.